Welcome back, Smite fans, to our last game of the night, the last set. Avant-Garde taking on Royalty. Pretty dominating performance from game number one out of the side of Avant-Garde. Royalty, unfortunately, just couldn't get it together. So Flash showed flashes of some potential, but in the end, it was not enough to overcome the split two champions. We're going to start picks and bans here in a second, Andy, but what would you like to see Royalty pick up this time?
I like to see them pick up a bit more early game. They had quite a lot of gods in that last game, which comboed well, but they just didn't get together early on. They need gods that can defend by themselves and can win lanes by themselves.
Alrighty, so starting up picks and bans here. Nemesis banned out by Avant-Garde. They don't want to see Royal Custard on that, so they've obviously done some research. Seems to be one of his stronger gods from what we've seen out of the CC finals and relegations. Royalty taking away Susano again. Susano hasn't been allowed through in an OPL game yet.
Um, well, that's a shocker. He's so dangerous right now in the early game. It could snowball a game out of control because of his mobility, because of the amount of damage he can output, and because of how very difficult it is to kill him. Freya going to be taken off the table by Avant-Garde as well. Maybe Romtigny doesn't like playing this god.
I think it's less that they don't want Thegoros on it. They don't want him on something that he could potentially snowball on out of the side lane. Raijin banned away from Royalty. You know, Idivine was able to play that one last game. Idivine did lots of damage on that last game, but leaves open yet again the Raven pick for Avant-Garde. Now, this is a really difficult choice for Royalty. They got to choose whether they had first or second pick in this game. They chose second pick to hopefully try and get two very strong picks. But what it does, it means that they have to ban out certain things. You have to ban out the Susano, and they felt like the Raija did so much work last game, they had to ban it out. But it leaves this Raven open to bully in the solo lane. Now they're picking up Terra and Kronos. The Terra I like. The Kronos though,
That's too early.
Yeah, that's very early for what seems like a bucket pick. I mean, yes, it's taken away from Idivine, but still, it's like it's not like you know he's going to pick it.
It's not like it's taken away his only god. It's not like
Yeah.
it's taken away the one thing that they were looking for in the draft. It's taken away a pick, which may not even have come out if you didn't pick it. Geb and Thor are going to be taken up by Avant-Garde. Thor, a very controlling jungler, similar to what you would see the Bologna do, just able to dive the backline very effectively, so Liquid Renegade again on something comfortable. Geb, sort of pulled a gruff play last game, very comfortable on it, and Fenrir for the jungle taken up by Royalty.
So I do like the Thor pick. It's one of Liquid Renegade's better picks. Look at the stats. It hasn't found a win in the OPL yet. For the Fenrir pick as well is very interesting to see. You know, OCET struggle a little bit at times with the Fenrir pick. It'd be very interesting to see what Royal Custard can bring to the table for that. Soul banned away and Amaterasu banned by Avant-Garde. So clearly, Avant-Garde are looking to take stuff away from the solo lane and give Chuckles a winning matchup to dominate the game like he did last time.
And Iana's banned by Royalty, meaning that this Chronos could potentially still go mid, looking for a better matchup for the Chronos. Avant-Garde still needs to ban away another pick that could ban out. Well, I don't think they'll ban out the Hercules. They could deal with that. For mana, there's going to be the Erlong Shen taken away. A nice 66% ban ratio there for one of the better gods, I would say, for the solo lane.
And it just provides so much control and so much damage at the same time. Still picked up for Royalty with the Janus taken away as well. So, you know, maybe Idivine might have to reach into the back pocket for some picks here. But I do like the Scylla for some objective control for Royalty because we know that's an area Avant-Garde has struggled with. So that's a Chonga.
That's a mid lane Chonga. That's okay. Style picks already.
And Odin now picked up by Royalty. I do like the Odin Scylla composition is very good, and actually the Fenrir Scylla composition is kind of a classic Smite strat. We can actually see as we head into game here, we could see these teams already starting to fight each other. El Chuckles looking with Shank for Rob Diggity as he's dashing away. So very very early before the game has even started. Plays coming out here from Avant-Garde, looking to just maybe looking for an early pick here.
Yeah, and I like the idea coming out from Avant-Garde to just make sure that Royalty can't ward. Because if they ward, then they have that security, they have that safe feeling inside of them that they aren't going to get invaded, that they aren't going to have this janky strat come out. But if they can't ward, then there's always going to be in the back of their minds, what if they invade? What if they're going to come around the corner right now and take this buff? I can't do this, I'm leashing. And just those reactions can come out, those emotions can play a big part in the early game. I like this pickup from Royalty on this right-hand side. Royal Custard on this Fenrir and Suspiria on this Odin. Two very good early game gods that can dominate the game if they get played correctly. But Liquid Renegade and El Chuckles, they recognize this and going for a very early invade.
And they can do this. They have a Wrath for Liquid Renegade. Chuckles provides a lot of damage, and they're relatively safe as well. You know, Odin, level 1, is okay, but it's not as good as his like level 2 or level 3, so he can't provide a lot of damage. Chuckles, he can get away. He's leveled his Prana Onslaught, so he's got damage. Liquid Renegade can do lots of damage as well. You know, the closer you are to him, the more damage he's going to do to you.
Yeah, and just going for the Death's Toll this time rather than the Wisdom Pendant, which we have seen from Raven today. It's because Odin can do a lot of burst damage with that Raven Shout Lunge combination, i.e. the Bird Bomb, and you just need that sustain against it. And they still have that entirety of their own jungle to do Avant-Garde to take away and get themselves more experience.
Alrighty, so already early pressure coming out from Avant. Who would have thought?
I mean, I find that this mid lane's having a pretty free lane against this Scylla, and you can pick these sort of off-meta picks into a Scylla because Scylla doesn't have great pressure early with the removal of Power Potion, so you get free clear, you get to be safe with a Chunga, which is something you don't get to say very often.
I'm very excited to see what it can do in the mid lane. It's a lot of sustain.
I do like what we saw out of Zeros when he picked up this Chunga before. When he went into the Vampiric Shroud first, and then immediately sent somebody back for Soulstone straight away afterwards, just to have the double starter item for a lot of sustain and damage early on. Not going to be coming out this time as Adventures goes straight in for the Soulstone, and then it's a lost artifact.
So looking at our Chuckles, his Death Toll here on the Raven. Last set we saw Kikiamiya use a blue stone in the Raven, which actually helped him pick up a kill. So really it shows that you can have kind of a choice with that with a Raven, what you want to pick up. But what it suggests to me is that Chuckles is looking for more get up in your face and just auto attack you to death sustain, whereas Kikiamiya was looking for quickly clear the lane so I don't have to spend that much time in here.
I like to jump in there from Royal Custom like Renegade, but Cosner without the follow-up there from the Crush or the Sikkim, you know, that he wasn't really forced into using any relics like Renegade, and that jump just a bit of more of a nuisance rather than anything else.
Chuckles here under the tower already. 2.5 minutes of the game, does have his Mystic Rush ultimate, uses the overhead kick there late, and doesn't avoid the damage from the tower. I think it was on cooldown, but in mid lane, Divine gets himself a kill onto Cosner. Changa, man, this is the new meta. This is OCE meta.
Yeah, and I do like it. It's very good.
It's like we saw with Legacy versus Pandas, the amount of sustain that a Sylvanas could bring. Like, Changa doesn't provide the same level, especially the same team level, but does provide damage from the mid lane. Now, a lot of people are like Changa damage, and yeah, once you start to get towards the later stages of the game, you do actually start to do a significant amount of damage. She also provides a lot of control with that Waxing Moon ultimate. And she's got damage immunity as well, so she can play a little bit more risky.
Oh yeah, 2 goals with damage immunity on the side of Avant-Garde. They can bait for days. But when I die, when I like to play Chunga, I like to play this more utility-based Chunga with a full cooldown reduction, very tanky, and able to just heal everybody in the team consistently.
Alright, Wrath was used there by Royal Custard to secure his speed buff, so it's not available for the blue if they go for it. Liquid Renegade looking for Suspiria, hasn't used his ultimate yet, but they should get this blue buff for free. Royal Custard can't even contest this one. He can either walk in there and die, or jump in there and die, and he's not going to do either. And importantly there as well, Liquid Renegade doesn't use his Wrath, so it is available for things like the Gold Fury. However, great response here from Royalty, taking away the red buff.
Yeah, once you lose something on the right-hand side, you need to get it back on the left-hand side, and that's exactly what they've done. Rotating back into the mid lane on these right-side mid-halfies are Liquid Renegade, Divine, and Gruff. And this Tricore is staying together so well, and it's just been fantastic to see that Divine's just been protected as this Chunga.
Speed buff now, going to be started up by Liquid Renegade. Look at Chuckles again under the tower. Mr. Spirit, he actually might fall down here, but oh my goodness. He manages to get the heal up and gets the kill as well. Overhead kick, saving him for now. He's dancing between the minions. He's going to fall down here surely in a second. Yes, he does. And Suspiria gets credited with the return kill, but so aggressive from Chuckles there.
It's what you expect from Chuckles. He's played this Ravana time and again. And Royal Custard leap again, doesn't get the stun, gets stunned himself and double tapped for the trouble. He could have used his Ragnarok there, but I don't know. Liquid Renegade on this Thor has gotten Wrath, and you haven't used your Ragnarok on him yet. Okay.
And you'd expect with the Scylla as well, that's definitely something you're looking for. What's happened is that, oh my goodness, good Cataclysm there from Gruff. Do they steal away the red buff? Waxamune comes out, locks Royal Custard into play, spin to win. There it is, there's the pickup, comes down, the Scylla ultimate does hit Liquid Renegade, but the Stone Shield good from Gruff there to keep his jungler alive. And that is pretty much the combination Royalty was counting on to win them a fight, and it didn't work.
Well, it won them the fight. It stopped Avant getting even more aggressive, but it just didn't give them the advantage they were looking for. Royal Custard leaping in again as Liquid Renegade gets a good brutalize off as the Spirit makes his rotation.
The heals from Idivine there kept Liquid Renegade alive long enough, so Royal Custard actually showing a good bit of fight in this game.
Yeah, I like this coming out from Royalty. It's fantastic play. It's aggressive. It's what we needed to see from them from last game. The fight back, the belief that they belong here, which obviously they do. They managed to beat out both Alcini and Corbett in the relegations. They know that they can do this, but the OPL environment is so different from the Challenger Cup environment and the relegations environment that it's caught them off surprise in Game 1, not so much in Game 2.
Take a look at our graphs here. We could see actually a decent lead for Avant Garde, 2,400 experience, 2,000 gold. So definitely farming very well compared to Royalty, and a lot of the invades have actually gone successfully. There's really only that red buff that we saw Royalty manage to turn it around a little bit.
But they've managed to stop Avant from invading time and time again. They managed to get one invade off so far. After the first set of buffs, which they've managed to invade for some reason. But
look, they invaded the speed buff again.
Now that they've got the timer on them once, the timer just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, and eventually, Avant will be able to take it without Royalty even noticing.
Speed buff drops, Avant Garde claim it. Vera was doing his blue buff, forced to back away. Avant Garde gonna get this one as well. This is bad for Royalty, getting this far behind this early. And what's worse is not even just the golden experience loss, but the fact that the buffs themselves are lost. The speed buff being lost means Royal Custard can't rotate around the map as quickly as Liquid Renegade can. The blue buff being lost means the Spirit can't use his cooldowns as often and doesn't have as much mana. Gruff pulled it to the tower, dunked there, Cataclysm, shields itself, keeps itself alive, follow up from Liquid Renegade, gets him the kill. Kozna locked in place, Terra's Blessing uses the crush onto Liquid Renegade. Divine picks up the kill. Liquid Renegade up in the sky, forced to dive away. Gruff falls down to Thegoris. Liquid Renegade down on the ground, manages to die to the tower. I was like, wow, he stayed a look for really long there. Where's the tower shot? And it was just following him along the ground. Shank picked up by El Chuckles. Caged in is Idivine. Doesn't have a chance to heal himself. Takes a lot of damage from Suspira, but manages to get out okay. Rob Diggity is rotated over, and now Chuckles just under the tower. They burst down Thegoris before he can even get off that rewind.
Elchicle's being very gentlemanly this game. No taunts coming out so far. He's learned this lesson from the first game. And he's going to get brutalized there for it as well.
Well, if you think about it, right, in the first game, I don't want to say he got off, like, a lot of, like, plays he shouldn't have got off, but it's, like, Royalty allowed him to do a lot that you could really spam for. Like, they just gave him free blue buffs and stuff. Whereas this game, they're fighting a bit harder, and so Chuckles, is like, okay, well, they're putting up a fight here. There's no need to taunt. And, like, we aren't winning enough for me to be justified in taunting. Because if you taunt and then lose the game, that looked really bad.
I mean, you will then get memed by a lot, and Swifty will be on the case there, like, straight away.
We can count on Swifty and Twitch chat to always be memeing.
Yeah, always memeing, never stop. And Ravana will never stop fighting as Chuckles makes his way back in with a teleport behind Odin, going to catch him out by surprise. Roots, but leaps away, does Suspira.
Alrighty, look at the left-hand side of the mid-amps, though. 3-man grippy, good wall there from the Renegade. Only gets one shot of the Mjolnir's attunement off. Thegoris has started to rotate around. He's going to take the boars here for himself. Haven't seen too much of him in this game, and, he's just been playing the farm game. Stay in the duo lane, clear the minions, try and get towards the late stage of the game. Problem with that is that's exactly what Rob Diggity wants to do as well.
Well, he's on this Chronos. It's something that can do well early if you give it the right matchup, if you give it the right conditions, but it's predominantly a late-game character. Crushing Earth going to be immune there by Idivine's Moonlit Waltz. Gold Fury going to be started up here by Avant Garde. Thegoris knows this, as to the rest of Royalty, so I expect a fight to be brewing any second now, but the Wrath from Liquid Renegades means that this is going to go the way of Avant Garde.
Could possibly try to look to get Armor Monster off, but it's not enough. Good route there from Shank. Could look to set up for a return kill. Gruff is picked up. Liquid Renegade is up in the sky. Comes crashing down. Spin to win in combination with Cataclysm. Picks up Royal Custard. El Chuckles gets Cosner on the backside. Nothing for Shank to do. He falls down as well. Thagoras walled in there. Suspira sealing away the blue buff on the other side, but nowhere for this Cronus to go. No rewind available either. Rob Diggity picks up the kill. So Gold Fury, 4 kills. Pretty much everything you could want goes the way of Avant Garde, but Suspira gets himself a blue buff, so at least he, everyone else on Royalty will be going, oh, we died there, we lost the Gold Fury, we all died. Suspira's it comes just like, guys, I got a blue buff, it finally happened.
I finally have infinite mana, guys. Be thankful for me. What do you mean we lost the fight? What do you mean we lost the Gold Fury in mid-tower? I got a buff, it's fine. It's not fine. That shows good experience from El Chuckles and maybe a bit of lack of experience from Suspira in choosing when to rotate to fights and when not to. And if Suspira was there, maybe the fight could have gone a bit better because the healing from Shunga would have been a thing and they could have blown a couple more people up. Who knows?
I think as well, though, Suspira's teleport was down. So that was why Chuckles was able to get over to the fight so quickly. Suspira
was also down.
Was it? I thought he did teleport in.
He teleported to a ward on the right hand side to catch Suspira out, and El Chuckles gets a free invade on. Even with the burn bomb, Suspira can't secure his own blue.
Well, I mean then that's definitely an experience factor coming in there. If El Chuckles managed to rotate in without a teleport before the Odin did, then yeah, that definitely made a difference in the fight.
And Suspira, he's trapped underneath the tower again. Raven Shell looking to do as much damage as possible. Get him off the tower, but a good overhead kick. Out comes the Cage as well. The fight is breaking out. It's all in the ring, and that's where Raven loves to be.
Liquid Renegade is between towers as well, going up into the sky. Shield from Gruffy's looking to land onto Suspira, just timing it, waiting, watching, gets the slam down, doesn't put the wall down. The jump comes through from the Odin, and there's a sustain from Ardivine. Good stun onto Royal Custard to break that brutalized damage onto Liquid Renegade. Avant aggressing onto the tier 2 tower, but the tier 1 is still up on the right hand side.
And guess what? This is a 4 versus 5. Look where Rob Diggity is invading red, taking that buff away, picking up for himself and taking down this tower as well. Royalty, they have to win this fight, otherwise it's looking like the curtains already.
Yeah, as long as no one on Avant dies here, this is an effective trade for them. Thagoras is rotating back around, but he's not going to get back here in time to defend this tower. In fact, he recognizes this, just gets what farm in mid lane that he can. Rob Diggity, he's got 3 levels in that pick-me-up, so he's going to be doing, he's going to get a 30% attack speed buff as he's taking down this tower. He's also got online an RC for some penetration. He got extra attack speed and Warrior Tarbite on as well, so he chunked that tower down. He stole the balls as well. He's just getting everything.
I don't know if that's inexperience again for Igor's Ugly Head. I don't like gets to kill it to Suspira. That's overstaying your mark when the tower is no longer a safe place, and this tower will also be taken away from you. If you can't play with your toys, though, they will be taken away from you.
But Avant Garde, 12 minutes in, 11,000 experience, 8,000 gold. Not good signs for Royalty.
No, and this tower on the right-hand side is also thinking, oh god, am I going to be put away as well? Am I going to be taken down? Shank, he's immune to knockups because of Terra passive, so that's a nice thing. But he's not immune to a Cataclysm, he's not immune to snipes.
Avant Garde taking down this tier 2 tower on the right-hand side as well. Shank is down. Only Cosner and Thagoras on this side to really defend it. Liquid Renegade's hanging around in the jungle. Doesn't have that much mana. Does have enough, though, to get off an Anvil of Dawn if they look to initiate here, but stay got it back. They're just going to... They're playing... Not conservatively, Avant, but they're playing smartly. They're taking what they can get, not overstaying their welcome so that Royalty could possibly get a turnaround.
The mid tower looks like it could be the next potential objective for Avant Garde, just pushing it up as El Chuckles. They could even go for this left-hand side tier 2 as well. The Gold Fury is down, so I wouldn't expect them to spend too much time over this left-hand side. Instead, they might even be looking at a fight chain in the next 7 minutes.
Look at Chuckles. He's invading this speed buff by himself against 2 members, and he's winning the fight. He didn't steal it away. Suspira got it, but there's 4 members of Royalty here now. Chuckles staying and fighting. Liquid Renegade is here, going up into the air with the Anvil of Dawn, looking for his target. He picks Cosner, spin to win. There's the ultimate from Fenrir as well. Cage locks in Liquid Renegade, manages to teleport out. Thagoras rewinds back towards Liquid Renegade as well, but he's a level above here. He can actually fight him. Liquid Renegade locks him down. Idivine's here as well. Sanctuary forced to be burned by Thagoras. Crusher comes out from Cosner. Not going to do any damage here. And now there's 4 members of Avant Garde here. They just won. Well, they have actually stalemated a 4v5 fight. And now Rob Diggity back on the split push game.
Down Rob Diggity back in again with a split push. The Chorus this time rotates and defends the tower successfully, but not before the tower takes a huge amount of damage. I mean, that's a Rama with Kid Size and Assy, but that shouldn't really be happening. That's not a lot of power. That's a lot of basic attack damage, though, as Royal Custard feels the pain of Idivine, and the very sumptuous dancing lady, Liquid Renegade, gets killed to Shank as well. Suspira, he's running for his life. He doesn't want to die for a third time this game.
Gruff is still tanking this tower here for Simmons. Oh, gets himself an Armor Monster kill onto Idivine. Liquid Renegade, no mana here. Suspira jumps in, doesn't find anyone, but locks Rob Diggity in the cage. Rob Diggity says, I'm not locked in here with you, you're locked in here with me, and forces Suspira to get out.
The first rule of Fight Club is you leave Fight Club if your name's Odin. And he had to leave because his name's Odin. Left-hand side, Red Buff going to be invaded, Gold Fury is up, and Avant heading straight towards it, just taking the best objective possible at this time.
The Grass, 15,000 experience, already 10,000 gold, and that's just going to continue to snowball in favor of Avant. You know, Royalty has the Chronos, but the lead's too great at this point to really counter that Chronos getting to a late game stage to be able to carry a team. The Ram is well ahead of him at this point, 1,800 gold, 2 levels as well. And just like last game, I don't really see the win condition here for Royalty. Thagoras as well, Rudin plays by El Choco's Terra's Blessing, rewind used, as well as the Ragnarok from Fenrir. But Thagoras, when he rewound back down the lane straight into Rob Diggity and El Chocles. It's a 3v2 fight, now a 4v2 as Cosner rotates over. Rob Diggity taken very low here, auto attacks going out, the jump from Royal Custard picks up the kill. 5 members of Royalty here, Chuckles stunned in place. This could be a death for the solo laner here, but he's still fighting. He's not taking that much damage at all. Ring comes out.
He wants to fight still. He's baiting, and he gets the bait off beautifully. Idivine kills Costner, and he's still alive as our Chuckles. Royal Custard, he has to run because he's in the wrong jungle.
Shank still level 9 here. Nowhere for him to run. In fact, Liquid Renegade not even bothering to help his team secure the kill on that one. Looking for the next kill already onto Suspira. El Chuckles picks himself up another kill. Liquid Renegade chasing after Suspira here. Has a Tectonic Rift available in another 5 seconds. So gonna back off from this one. But only 3 members of Royalty left up. 4 for Avant Garde. Could look to pressure this tower. The only positive sign here for Royalty is that Rob Diggity's down, so they're not going to have that much tower damage as they usually will. But Cataclysm gets all 3 members there from Gruff. Excellent wall from Liquid Renegade. Nowhere to run for Thagoras. El Chacos gets himself another one. Royal Custard leaping away. Suspira is here, knocked up. Does he have a jump available? That is the question. Can he reach it in time? There's the shield trying desperately to stay alive, and he jumps over the tower. But Mystic Rush from Chuckles and a teleport from Liquid Renegade down for Suspira. Nowhere to run for the solo laner. Tier 2 tower on the left-hand side falls down. The giant blue worm of a snaking minions heading their way towards the Phoenix as the mid-tier 2 tower is now focused by Avant.
And Odin, even if he manages to get a massive cage off, it's not going to matter because Idivine has Phantom, which was recently changed to be an AoE relic rather than just a single target one for yourself. It's a 180-second cooldown right now, but you're not going to get a 5-man cage every single time. Liquid Renegade forcing the Sentinel away from Cosmo and forcing everybody back from this Phoenix. It's 18 minutes into the game as Shank is level 9.
Shank is dead. Thagoras rewinding as well, just barely manages to get back before he dies. Royal Custard, nowhere to go, gets a Wrath off, but Rob Diggity still manages to pick up the kill. Vera jumping away back into the fountain. Minions spawning here for Royalty, so this might force Avant away, but they're going to look for the left-hand side Phoenix as well. Cosner does have Iron Monster available. If he could get some CC down, he can look to get that one, but Liquid Renegade double taps, spin to win. Cosner barely manages to get away from the jungler of Avant. Left-hand side Phoenix falls. Avant just continuing to pressure here. They had not even backing. Thagoras falls down to Rob Diggity. Shank still level 9. He's been that way for about 5 minutes. There's a frenzy popped here from Avant-Garde, so it looks like they're really trying to end. Shank falls down to the snipes from Rob Diggity, who gets himself a double. Suspira jumping away. Mystic Rush from El Chocos. He takes a lot of damage from the fountain. Cosner gets the kill on the Liquid Renegade, but it's because of the Titan. So I'm a Monster doesn't reset. He gets a crush off onto Gruff, and Royal Custard gets a kill onto Chuckles. So Avant now overstaying their welcome. Need to back away. They've got several thousand gold in hand, I would imagine. Yeah, close to 2,000 for everyone on Avant. So back by, Fire Giant and win, or rush down the left-hand side and win.
We talked about it a bit before. 2 early game gods on Suspira and Royal Custard, and they should really have taken off in their lanes, especially Royal Custard in the jungle on that Fenrir. Really does well against this Thor, because stun out to spin to him with the Unchained, but if we have a look at the play damage, they're doing less damage right now than Geb.
Oh, that's not good. That is not good.
I think what's surprising though is the fact that Idivine's got more damage than El Chuckles though.
I mean, I said, like, you know, Chunga, once she starts to get toward later stages of the game, actually does a significant amount of damage, and she does a lot of healing as well. I actually want to see how much healing has she done this game. She's done 14k healing as well. I mean, that's just, it's a lot. Like, it's very hard. I mean, and if you look at the side of Royalty, they don't have any anti-heal. The only anti-heal they have is the Odin Ring, and that's frankly not enough to counter a Chang'a's healing.
And it's not
Or
going
they
to
got a
be enough.
curse just in as well.
Yeah, but they also have a Phantom to Avant-Garde, so the Odin Cage is basically saying, you trapped me? Well, I'm just going to walk out of here, okay, thanks?
Alrighty. 7, 1, and 14 is Divine, part of all kills but 1. That's very impressive stat line from the mid laner.
And Shank, he's low, he's very dead as well. Cataclysm comes out just for good measure. Suspira could be the next on the chopping block. Lake of Renegade goes up into the air, gonna land straight down on top of him. It's gonna miss actually, but the snipes are good, and that's gonna claim the kill.
Chuckles in the mid lane as well, fighting 2. Rollcasted forced to use the Ragnarok to run away. Hit him up. No damage off the back of it though. Like it looked like it did 0 damage. It looked like it was an equivalent of a Thor wall. Here's some CC, but no damage. Chuckles overhead kicks out of the stun from Thegoris. The rest of his team is all doing the Fire Giant, so he's happy to just be pressuring in his mid lane.
This has been El Chuckle's story for pretty much ever since I've seen him play. Is I'm gonna zone out the rest of the team. I'm gonna fight and let my team do whatever they want, and I'll be okay with that. I mean, during LAN, we saw him group up with the team a lot more, and it's what allowed them to push and take the LAN very surprisingly and in very convincing fashion. But when they got this much of a lead, it doesn't matter where you are on the map. You're just gonna be a zoning potential.
Alright, all 3 Phoenixes down. This should be game 5 minions. Pushing left and mid side. Right hand side has regular minions coming in as well. And now here, this is the final gasp from Royalty. 2 members dead already to Liquid Renegade. Might be a third soon with Shank goes. There's an I'm a Monster, hits 4 members, but basically just tickles Avant. Nothing they could do at this point is Royalty. 5 minions in the base. 5 minions are in the base. The Crush comes down, I should say. Liquid Renegade gets himself another one. Suspira falls down. All Cosner left. No, I'm a Monster as well to potentially even get a kill. They're even diving him in the fountain. Okay, this is a little bit of BM here. Cosner gets a kill. There's a Crush, but the Titan falls down. Avant gets themselves a victory here, pretty convincingly.
When your I'm a Monsters do about as much damage as Tackle in Pokemon, you know something's gone wrong, because you just don't have enough damage on your field. There's just not enough levels there. Level 15 versus level 15 on the enemy support, level 20s coming out left, right, and center. It's just not going to work out. And the main reason that Royalty really got behind that game was most of their damage and most of their CC was on Scylla and on Terra, both of which fell extremely far behind.
Yeah, it was definitely a rough start to the OPL, but you know, trial by fire and all that, they can only come out stronger on the other side of it. So we're going to talk now to the solo laner of Avant-Garde and your Split 2 Finals MVP, L Chuckles. Chuckles, got to be feeling good to start off the split with a win.
Yeah, it feels good, man.
Last time we spoke to you was the All-Stars game. Had some fun there. Before that, we saw you at the Split 2. I mean, you were here. But last time we saw you before that was the Split 2 LAN where you guys didn't drop a game. So, do you think some of that momentum is carried over here into the OPL?
Yeah. It's not so much momentum as we all got to know each other a lot better at LAN, so it's it's a different experience after meeting these in person.
So Royalty, this is their first game in the OPL, so I guess we get to really ask you first. What do you think of Royalty? What do you think their strengths were in that game, and what do you think their weaknesses were?
I mean, they're pretty good players, all in all. It's really their drafting, I think, that let them down. They didn't prioritize what they needed to prioritize. So I think, with more experience, obviously, everyone, including Royalty, are gonna get a lot better as the split goes on.
Awesome. Well, they do have another set this week against Pandemonium, so we'll have to see how that goes tomorrow night. Now, Alpha, any questions for our guest?
Just a couple of questions. Ever since the change of meta in the solo lane, it seems to have been Raven coming out left, right, and center. And other regions, it seems not to be a first pick. In Oceania, seems to be a first pick. Why do you think we see this difference?
I don't know. He's first, well enough in SPL. It's just Pretty much in OC, it's like, well, what else are you going to pick? It's like he's the best at what he does in the solo lane, so it's like, why not when everything else is banned, like Raijin and all those other top priorities.
My final question is, how many VELs constitutes too many?
I mean, I don't know. I usually go with a good old VET myself personally, but I'm partial to VLs as well.
Alright, before we let you go, do you have any shoutouts you'd like to give?
Shout outs to the org, of course, and all our sponsors. Shout outs to Steve. I love his bants. And yeah, about it.
Alrighty, thank you very much for joining us, Chuckles. We'll let you go now. It's going to do it for us for today, but it's not the whole week over and done with. Tomorrow, we have got Corvidae taking on Alpha Sydney in our first set, and then Royalty taking on Team Pandemonium. Can Royalty improve from their set against Avant Garde? I mean, it's not like they could... I think this game will do them well, but I'm really excited for Corvidae versus Alpha Sydney. They were very competitive in the relegations. Corvidae got a lot of experience from last split in the OPL, so I'm looking forward a lot to see how that match pans out, Andy.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see, can Corvidae pick up their first OPL win in their second split? I mean, I hope they can. They do have the potential to do it, and we'll have to see what happens tomorrow.
Well, will. So we're going to leave it there for tonight. Tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m. at same channel, same place, and bring all of your bands, of course. But that's going to do it for us tonight. From everyone here at Cybergamer, thank you very much for tuning in. Catch you next time.